Welcome to Florida in flip-flops.
So guys, thank you so much for watching again. Hello everybody out there. So today it's part 3 or step 3, right? On how to teach your child a foreign language. What are the tips and the tricks, right? So let's go right into it. Today, our last video is with different subjects, okay? So the first one is what is important during the language lesson. So first of all, maybe you want to set a timer, you want to write down the time or an alarm clock, whatsoever, in order to see that you've really done your 30 minutes or 60 minutes. And I'm telling you, sometimes if your child is getting tired, he or she will say, Mom or Dad, what is the time? Aren't we finished yet? So this might happen too. So if you have your clock there or something, you can say, hey, still 10 more minutes to go. Make sure when you do the lesson, all the things that are bothering you or that could interrupt the lesson, try to put it away, try to turn it off, all the cell phones, all the dogs, all the snacks, put everything away so that it's just you and your child and the study material. So while you go through the study material and you're there on your table teaching your child the language, make sure the pronunciation is good. And maybe you have to repeat the word 2 or 3 times, but pronunciation is very important. Also make sure your child understands what he or she is writing or reading or listening to. And very important also, reward your children during the lesson. So that's very important. So what's always fun when we're the detectives, right? When we have a word like snowman, it has like 2 words in one. Isn't that cool? Snowman. Oh my God, I've just learned 2 words. I've learned snow and I've learned man. Snowman. Oh my God, that's so cool. And there was another word I just did the other day with my son, which meant like flying over something, right? Overflying a countryside. And the word in Italian was sorvolare. And my son didn't know exactly what is sorvolare. So I said it very slow and he still didn't get it. So I took it apart, the word. I said sor and volare. Does it sound familiar to you? I asked him, volare. And he's like, volare, yeah, that means flying. So just make sure you don't rush through the sentences or the movies or the word or the stories, because it's very important you take the time and you try to find out, is that the level that my child is on? And if your child has a lot of questions and it just doesn't feel right, then just stop. And the next time, get something easier. Now let's go to the next topic, which is what to do at the end of a language lesson. Well, the most important things, guys, is to reward your children, right? That's the most important thing. Like, yeah, great job, because your child has worked a lot, right? Like 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So you can reward your child with stickers or maybe an ice cream. So that's all up to you how you want to reward your child. Topic of today, of this video, and we talk about, besides the traditional language lesson, right? What other ways, fun ways are there to teach your child foreign language? So the first thing I would recommend are memory games. It's really fun and simple. I'm sure you've heard of it. You can buy them online, you can buy them in a store, or you make them yourself. Memory games. Like I did that, for example, by printing out some images on the internet, and I cut them in little pieces and then I glue them on a little cardboard. And then this, for example, is in Italian, pavone, peacock. And you can write down the name and maybe, you know, the English name, a French name, the Chinese name underneath. And it's really a fun way to learn a language. When you do a bedtime story at night, maybe you can do that in another language, you know, or watch a movie together in Chinese or Russian or any language language you want. And the good thing is, if you would be together with your child watching the movie, you could just see if this is the right level for your child. And you could also pause the movie, you can rewind the movie, you can put the subtitle on the movie, and ask your child some question. Maybe, hey, did you just understand what they were talking about, or is it too difficult? And then maybe at home you have like a newspaper, or you have journals, like a book at home, you know, and then you just look at the stuff and say, hey, what's this about? Or look at this picture. Maybe you see a fancy car and you can say, hey, how do you say car in Spanish or in Chinese? You know, just look through these things like a book. Here I have my little helpers, as I call them, the index cards, and I'm pretty sure you've seen them before, right? So I use them for my son. You know, sometimes he has difficulties to remember a word in Italian. For example, doorknob, or for example, wall or ceiling, right? So I'm writing down the Italian word and I'll place it by the door, or by, you know, stick it up the ceiling, whatever it takes in order to remember the word. And then of course, look at the colors. I mean, it's obvious that you see them throughout the house, right? And then, you know, you just go and ask your son, hey, can you tell me again the word for ceiling, the word for wall, the word for doorknob? And then your son or daughter goes around and has the opportunity to read it again. So here we do have a little like pocket book, I don't know how you want to call it. This is for 5 to 6-year-old. It has questions and the answer right away. So these little things are really cool when you're in the car, in the bus, in the tram, you're on a trip. And I'm telling you, our son, he doesn't even realize we're teaching him another language because he's so fascinated by the different questions and the pictures and the little exercises. I mean, this is really cool, you know, learning while having fun and not even realizing you're learning another language. And guys, I tell you, a very fun exercise with your children when you're outside, because when you step out of your house door, right, there is nature, or there is a city, or there is the beach, there is vocabulary all over to exercise, right? For example, you went over some colors, right, in your language lessons. You just go outside and say, hey, let's see if we can see the colors outside. So guys, I want to tell you something very, very important. If you teach your child a foreign language that you're not very familiar with, right, make sure you get the study material with the answers, because otherwise, who's going to answer it correctly, right? If you don't know the language, or if you have very few knowledge about the language. And I'm convinced you can teach your child any language in the world, even without knowing that language, because you have the internet and there is so much out there that you definitely can teach your child a language that you're not familiar with. But please make sure you have the pronunciation, you have the right study material that's slow, that's clear, that's easy, and also makes it easy for you, right? And that's just important because you don't want to teach your child the wrong words, the wrong grammatic, right? So I'm sure you can do it, go for it, try it out, and good luck. So guys, this is the end of the step 3 of the part 3 of this topic. And thank you so much for watching this long video, and good luck with your kids, with your language lessons. Please let me know what's going on, and please watch our other videos out there, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.